YouTube channel. It is a beautiful sunny October day here in Northern California. I've got Miss Hula with me. Say hi, Hula. And I wanted to come on live and make a video about two things. The first thing is the idea of an ROI with solar, like what is the ROI versus staying with a utility company for an indefinite amount of time. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about on this live stream. And then the second thing that I'm going to talk about is what I'm doing to help nonprofits, churches, places of worship to get solar and save on their energy costs, and what is happening now that used to not happen. And this is, Inflation Reduction Act. So since that has passed, there is a direct pay of 30% of the federal, 30% of the cost of the system that can be directly paid to nonprofit businesses, churches, places of worship, and things like that. So I wanted to touch base on that, as well as EV charging stations for your place of business and or your place of business. So let's talk about the first thing. I belong to some Facebook groups, local Facebook groups, as well as I hang out on Reddit. I really like Reddit, actually. Reddit, and then, just Facebook posts mostly. And then I see things on YouTube as well. But there is this idea that people don't want to invest in solar for their home. Now, I can understand if you live in a state where the energy rates are less than, say, 15 cents a kilowatt hour, which is becoming rarer and rarer. And I live in the state of California, which is, I know a lot of you might think that's crazy, but I mean, it's 70 some degrees on October 14th. It's sunny. My solar system is generating power for my house right now. There's system number 2, and then I've got system number 1 over there. I have a backup battery in case the power ever goes out. It's on the side of the house over there. But if I move over there, then I will lose my internet connection because I'm running this live stream off of my Wi-Fi. But there is this idea that, excuse me, the ROI may take longer than they would like to see. So I'm curious, if you're watching live or in the replay, what would be a good ROI, or years, how many years would you like to see in your return on investment before you think it makes sense to go solar? Because a lot of people are going to be in their houses for a long time. Even if you're in your house for, okay, I'm going to back up and just say that I've helped several homeowners go solar, like a lot. And people sell their houses like a year after getting solar. I've had 3 homeowners in the last couple years get solar on their house. Let's see, one of them financed it, the other 2 paid cash for their system. I do live in an area where, that might not be as big of a challenge as in other parts of the country. But these homeowners, I am in the state of California. But these homeowners a few years ago went solar, and then like 3 months later sold their house. And some of them, 2 of them left the state. Like one went to Utah, another one went to Idaho. And then the other one moved to Santa Cruz. So just a couple hours from where their house with solar was installed. They were able then to ask for more money than let me rephrase that. They were able to ask for a top dollar for their home because they had solar on their house. Especially because the utility rates, even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, were in the 30-cent range. When people get solar, now cash is king, and if you buy solar with your cash, you're going to get the best levelized cost per kilowatt hour. And so the ROI is, after the tax credit, was somewhere, and this is before NEM 3.0, was like 3.5, 4 years because they paid cash. If you finance a solar system, that's going to be a little bit longer, and now with batteries, it's going to still be a little bit longer than that, but it's still going to be better than staying with the utility company. Because right now, I'm looking at utility bills that are 65 cents a kilowatt hour all the way down to 50 cents a kilowatt hour. So it's 48.9. So let's round up to 50 cents. How much is one house? How much money? I don't know what that means. Maybe you can clarify. Hello, everybody who's watching. Yes, okay, sorry. I'm looking at the comments and trying to also share. The question, though, that I have for people who are considering solar but have that objection or that, well, I don't know when, I don't like the ROI. It might take 9 years to see the ROI. And what I mean by that is it's kind of the break-even point of where the system itself after the tax credit kind of takes over and you're at net zero. And then from there, you are then positive cash flow. It is entirely possible to do that, especially in the state of California. And I would venture to say in the Northeast, like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, all the New England states, your guys' utility rates are going up and up and up. And I know that Ohio just like doubled their rates, the utility rates. So what they used to be paying is now double that. And that's because of what the utility companies are doing and the cost to generate power and all of that. So when you go solar, you are putting a power source onto your rooftop or onto your land if you get a ground mount. And that energy is generating in real time when it's sunny and feeding your house. And if you don't have net metering, like in California, we have net metering 3.0, which is net billing, but we can't sell our power anymore to the utility company like we used to for a one-to-one exchange. There are still several states that offer that. Get out of there before it gets too bad, says Paul. You can go solar anywhere else. Get out fast. I'm kind of stuck here for a couple more years, but I like the weather here in California and I'm okay with that. I don't always agree with the politics and what's happening, but yeah, anyways, that's another conversation for another time. But yes, the utility rates are going up. And so the break even for most homes with solar and a battery now is going to be about 8 years. So we've been in our house now for almost 12 years, 11 and a half years. And if we had that mentality of, well, it's going to take 9 years to break even, I'm not going to do it. If we would have done solar a long time ago, we would have saved a lot more money than if we would have stayed with the utility company. So my point is yeah, the ROI in California may be 9 years with a battery. It may be 12 years if you have to get a really big system and you live in Florida, which I hope that Floridians are, have a fast recovery from the hurricane and everything. But for those who live in an area where they don't always get hit by hurricanes, it might be a good idea to get solar and a backup battery, because then you're not having to worry about a generator and running out of gas for the generator. So if you are in Florida and you're watching and you're interested in solar, I can help you in the state of Florida. I actually can help homeowners and businesses across the country in 36 states. So please reach out to me. I don't just serve Californians, but we do have some of the most expensive utility rates in the nation. Alaska is very expensive actually, and Hawaii. So, and New England states. The New England states are getting very expensive as well. But when you combine your solar system with the federal tax credit, that's 30% of the cost of your solar system and batteries. If you choose to get batteries, the only 3 states that now you should not get solar unless you get storage are Hawaii, California, and now Illinois, because Illinois has done away with their net metering. So if you live in those states, you must get solar and a battery together. You can't just, it's not smart to just do solar, because your system's going to overgenerate and it's not going to, there's nowhere for it to go. You're not going to get credit from the utility company. You're not going to get any sort of incentive. So it's best to pair it with storage. So anyways, I just wanted to come on live and say that the ROI in California is still well worth worth it to look at it. And even if you sell your house, you're gonna recoup the cost. Brianka, Brian Cal 77. The solar energy quotes that I get in California are crazy. Every system generates 18,000 kilowatt hours, but the quotes range from, oh my gosh, 25 to 110,000. I can't believe equipment and labor is that different for each quote. That is a pretty wide swing, and I would love, Brian, I want to know who's charging you $110,000 for that system, and I'd love to even see who's charging you $25,000 for that system, because that's insane. Yeah, that is insane. And of course, it all depends on equipment, but there really shouldn't be that big of a difference in cost of the solar panel equipment and the inverters. The biggest thing that you're going to see, the biggest difference in costs are the batteries. Because are you getting a self-generation battery, self-consumption battery, or are you getting a backup and self-consumption battery? Because that makes a difference in the cost. The other thing is that I'm curious is if any of those quotes include financing. Is the $25,000 one, is that cash? Is it financed? Well, Hannon, you can just click away. I'm going to keep talking because this is my channel, and the videos help a lot of people. So that's Hannon. Hannon commented, can you stop talking? So you can just click away. This isn't for you. This is for people who are interested in solar for their home. Okay, so let's going back to Brian's message or comment about the differences in the ranges. I would love to see them because I just want to know how many batteries are they offering you? Are you needing a new roof is one of the quotes with a roof. I will tell you, I've had quotes for my homeowners that need a roof, batteries, solar, and a main panel upgrade, and it can hit those ranges at the top of the range. Yeah, so anyhow, that is that. So if you want to send me those quotes, you can go ahead and send them to me, and I'll take a look at them for you, and I can help you too. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about nonprofits, places of worship, churches, nonprofit businesses. Since the Inflation Reduction Act was passed, that also extended the extended the tax credit for going solar, any solar energy or renewable energy. The government passed the Inflation Reduction Act, and what happened there was the tax credit for going solar was going to go down to 22%, and then I believe 10%, and then go away. Well, when they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, it extended out the tax credit another 10 years and took it back up to 30%, which is it started out at 30%. So when you own a nonprofit business and you own your building, or maybe you're leasing the space and you have a long-term space, like a 20 or 30-year lease, oftentimes you can work with your landlord and put the solar on the rooftop. And even if you own the building that's better because you own the real estate. But when you get the solar put on the rooftop, if you're a nonprofit, before you weren't eligible for the 30% federal tax credit. With the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, now it is a direct pay of 30% of the cost of the solar system to the nonprofit for putting solar on the rooftop. And this is huge. And it's one of those things that I think I knew that it was out there, but I hadn't really done my research. And so I looked it up, and I'll put, after this live stream, I'll put the comment in, or the link in, where you can go and see for yourself. But it is a direct pay, like a direct pay. There's some things you have to do, and it's post like filing your taxes and everything like that, but you will get a direct pay to your place of business that's a nonprofit or a church or, any place of worship, anything like that, if you put the solar on your rooftop, then that 30% of the cost goes back to your business. And that could be a huge thing and help build your cause or further your cause, because You're saving on your energy costs. You're generating the power on your rooftop. If you're a church, you are going to be like, you're no longer, you're going to have your congregation, you know, in their offerings and donations and things like that, have to pay for the electricity bill if you invest in the solar for that building. So it's really, really awesome. Thank you, Money Talks. I'm glad that this is informative for you. So I, like my sister-in-law, she lives in a group home, an adult care facility. And I went and visited her over the weekend, and the gentleman who runs the house and has been for several years, I mentioned this to them, and they said we are very interested because the cost of energy is just getting so expensive, and that just increases operation costs. So imagine if you can cut your operations costs, increase your revenues, and or not even your revenues, but just be able to take that money that you were otherwise paying to the utility company and spread it out across your, you know, the way that you serve people. That is near and dear to my heart. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that is entirely possible. Again, I'm going to put the link from the White House about the direct pay for the IRA for nonprofit businesses that get solar installed on their rooftop or on their ground or carports or however you will. So there's that. And then if my installer uses domestic goods, it can be another 10%. So it could be 40% of the cost that you're not having to pay because of the Inflation Reduction Act. So make sure you check out the description in this video and either you can text me, or you can go to my website and fill out the form there so that we can at least start the conversation for nonprofit businesses. I'd love to help you. And it can be, you know, a small group home all the way up to a big mega church. In fact, I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of you mega churches and churches across the state of California to share this with you, because I think it'll be very beneficial and helpful to you. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know as well is that now I am able to offer and help places of businesses have EV chargers installed in their parking lots. So this is great for if you already have solar, that's wonderful. But if you want to add EV chargers, these are level 2 and level 3 chargers. And it's a nationwide publicly traded company called Blink. And we are one of 4 places of business, solar companies, that can actually offer these level 3 and level 2 chargers. So if you own a business, own the land, and want to add EV chargers because they're needed, you can send me a text or an email as well. My email address is jamie@jamiegreenthesolarqueen.com. And we can start that conversation. There's like an assessment form for your property to make sure that, one, there's enough. You do need 3-phase power on your property to be able to install level 3 chargers. But then, you know, there's tax credits for those and huge incentives for installing car chargers that might even help mitigate the cost. There's upfront costs, but then you'll recoup it on the back end. The other thing is that when you do have these chargers, then there's an opportunity for you to create revenue for your place of business. So even for churches, you can do it too. Nonprofits, same thing. So it's a really, really awesome thing that I'm excited to be able to offer to you guys. So yeah, just make sure to reach out and let me know if that's something that you're needing for your place of business or your nonprofit. And that is all that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, was the ROI, the idea of ROI, and what does that actually mean, and is it worth it for you guys to get solar? Yes, indeed, in California, it is well worth it. And then for commercial solar projects for nonprofits, the 30% direct pay back to your place of business for getting solar installed, and then EV chargers. So that is it. Enjoy the rest of your day. And for the people who are interested, just check out the description in the video and reach out to me. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.